comrades and friends, I'm delighted to be here at the London launch of Justice for Kurdistan, because if there's one thing about Justice for Kurdistan, it's very, very, very long overdue. And it's also true that the trade union movement didn't necessarily always do enough work on the issues for Kurds and Kurdistan. My own union, the National Union of Teachers, now the NEU, since we're a merged union, actually started having policy about the issue of Kurdistan back in the early 90s, and I was delighted to be associated with it. Still am a patron of peace in Kurdistan, because clearly we need justice and we need peace. These are two fundamentals without which no people can be free, and if there are people who are not free, then none of us is free. So I'm delighted that the TUC took the step relatively recently of deciding that this is a big focus now for the TUC, and the Freedom for Öcalan campaign was born. I don't need to tell you in this audience the absolute centrality and importance of Öcalan and the biting injustice of the fact that he has remained in prison for so long. But we do have an absolute burning commitment to make sure that the trade union movement across the length and breadth of the UK is more in touch with, is more up to date with, is doing more campaigning with our friends in the Kurdish community and our friends in our trade unions to say, really, you know, in solitary confinement since 1999, 2019 has to be the year when we make a major breakthrough and we are able to see that peace and justice for the Kurdish people and for Öcalan is really at the top of our agenda, and we must work hard for it. I know how difficult it is to get stories into the mainstream press in this country. It's a near impossibility if you are on the left of politics and wanting to fight for social justice to get your voice heard. And that's why all of us in the trade union movement have to be the people who have those individual conversations with our members, wherever our members work, in order to say, do you know, you might even be working with someone who is Kurdish. I have to tell you, to my great shame, when I was first teaching in London in the 1970s, we used to have kids coming to school and we would think that they were Turkish, and we would treat them as if they were Turkish, and then we would discover they were Kurdish. And you know, it was a great thing in the IDA when we eventually broke into that, and a number of us who were teacher activists said, we have to be more careful about this. We need to make sure that we're working with the Kurdish community so that we understand more about the Kurdish community. So I absolutely commit from my own union, the National Education Union, that we will continue to work in the Freedom for Öcalan campaign, that I will continue to work with my friend and comrade Estelle Schmidt in the Peace in Kurdistan organisation, and that we will make sure that next year our voices are raised in every place we can raise them, to make sure that all of our members, as many of our members as we absolutely can in the trade union movement, know and understand the vital work that we must do to make sure that peace and freedom and social justice is represented in Kurdistan. Solidarity. Thank you very much.